Hello dear viewers, and welcome back again to Daily Reset, where a new chapter of your life starts right here. I'm your host Nasser Burshed, and today we have a very interesting topic. But before that, how about we go take a quick break, and we'll be right back right after this. Alright dear viewers, we're back again after that short break right here at Daily Reset, and today's topic is about stress eating. And to know more about this, we have our nutritionist who is going to talk about herself just a little bit before we actually start. Hello.
Hi.
Hey, okay, so tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I've studied here in Kuwait, got my bachelor's in nutrition, went to London and got my master's in eating disorders and clinical nutrition, and got back and gained my license here in Kuwait.
All right, amazing. So I've heard from a little bird that your actual major was in this, and stress eating. So
Yes.
tell us a little bit more about stress eating. What is it about, and what is so, now in this society and this time, stress eating is everywhere.
Yeah, so depending on the person, I would say is either they have a overeating type of thing to cope, to cope with stress as a coping mechanism. So they would overeat, and then by the time goes by, they have binge episodes, right? So they would eat, stop, then eat again. And then there are people where they completely restrict because they're super stressed, they just can't look at food, and then by time they kind of lose weight in an unhealthy way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So I'm sure there's a difference between stress eating and regular hunger. So how can we know the difference, and what is the difference actually?
So regular hunger comes in really slow, really steady over the hours. You kind of feel your stomach. Is also empty as well. You kind of want to eat anything right now. You're willing to eat an apple, right? So with stress eating, it comes all of a sudden, and most probably you always crave something that is really sugary, something that gives you a dopamine rush, that happy feeling. So you would tend to go for processed foods, something that is sugary, chocolates. So that, I would say, is a way of you telling the difference between the two.
So there are actually stress food, like people actually go for right away once they actually want to, just show that they're stressful.
Yeah. So they mostly go towards stuff like carbs, simple carbs. I would say like chocolates, a bit of waffles, pancakes, right? Ice cream. Whereas someone that's really hungry, they just want to eat, right?
But why is that? I mean, I understand it's for dopamine reasons.
Yeah.
But why is that so important? Why is dopamine most important? I mean, is it because they want to switch from being stressed to happy, or is it other reasons?
Yeah, exactly. So it's for them to give them a brief few minutes of kind of to forget, like that bliss mode. It's called like a dopamine bliss mode, right?
Okay.
So you go through that high, that rush of sugar that you get, and like that happiness, and it gives you like a brief timing of kind of to forget the trigger of why you're stressed in the beginning. Yeah, so you kind of have that break, like that mental break of just forgetting the stress.
And the problem is that it doesn't actually last for long, and then it just goes down and then back up again, and you start to take even more.
Yeah, so like it comes up, crashes down, and you get that waves during the day.
Oh God. And the thing is, like, I understand that it is sometimes it's some things you crave, something that are nostalgic sometimes, even that, and it doesn't even have a good effect in the end of the day. It just makes you even more stressful, because the moment that you get that bliss, you still want to keep that bliss on a continuous rate, or that level.
Yeah, so because with sugar and those processed foods, it's kind of also, you have that cortisol level also increased in your body, right? So pairing that with processed food and all of those foods as well kind of hinders the focus point, kind of you like focusing and doing the right thing for you. So these just like stressors all over each other.
Can we say that it's actually a worse feeling than what you start? So when you feel stressed and then you start to go for the sugars and all of that, and then the moment you feel that bliss and then it goes away, you'll feel actually worse than actually the first time.
Yeah, so people tend to feel guilt as well, especially if they're trying to lose weight, right?
Guilt, okay.
Yeah, so it comes back to binge eating and kind of having that relationship with food, that good and bad relationship with food. So just like imagine you've been eating so well for such a long period of time, right? So I'm talking about someone who's trying to lose their weight really in a healthy way. They go through something, right? Something happened, whether it's tragic or whatever it is, right? So then their coping mechanism, that is if they're eating, right? So their coping mechanism going towards food, they overeat, forget themselves, they feel guilty. Oh my gosh, like I ruined everything, all of my progress just went away.
Yeah.
Right? So, and then they tend to have that bad relationship with food and then not eat the next day.
Yeah.
And then that's where binge eating kind of comes in.
Okay.
And then you've got the other side of it where someone is just like normal, not trying to lose weight, not gaining weight in a healthy way, right? They start to restrict because their coping mechanism is they feel full. They don't want to eat. So that kind of plays a relationship with, like a bad relationship with food where like they're completely restricting.
And the problem is once you have that bad relationship with food, it either goes both ways. Either you stop eating and you don't want to eat and you hate it, or you actually like you just want to pound one thing after the other.
Yeah, it's kind of like a break for you to kind of forget your trigger, and it's really important for you to kind of know your trigger in the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are the healthy alternatives? Like if I am stressful and I'm not denying it, but I want to get something that is more healthier choices that also can comfort me.
So if you're craving like something like chips, I would say probably go for crackers and hummus or like labna.
Okay.
So you crave ice cream, have Greek yogurt with some berries. Okay, so if you're craving something warm, maybe like oatmeal with a bit of honey and kind of mixing dry cacao powder. So kind of doing things like mini swaps. Okay. If you kind of really crave chips, maybe have it both, a bit of crackers with hummus and then chips on the side, just a little bit to kind of have that balance as well. So kind of having these little like healthy swaps is gonna help.
Yeah. So it's like also the idea of like, for example, if I do have those two things, let's say chips and a cracker, I'll get filled up with the cracker and then get filled up with the chips and I won't feel guilty.
Yeah.
I get a little bit of both worlds.
Yeah. Maybe like a small portion of the chips and then have that, or like maybe a vegetable crudité, right? So you have your vegetables kind of filled up with fiber, but then you have your chips. It gives you like a bit of a balance as well.
I got you. So how about like if I started to have or feel stress eating? So I'm sure stress eating are in different, let's say, different periods. So there are the ones that are like, they just started, then you have people that are somewhere in the middle, and people are like deep into the stress eating.
Yeah.
How can I avoid these three different timings?
So for you to kind of acknowledge the trigger of it, and again, it's really hard because around our society or environment, they don't teach you how to control it, right? So this is why also a main reason why I got into this relationship, because you've seen sports dietitians, you've seen dietitians in the hospital, renal. You don't really see someone that is just for binge eating or just for patients that restrict, right? Yeah. So it really goes hand in hand psychologically. So I work a lot with psychologists and therapists to kind of, you know what, like this patient is going through this, they need this type of help, they know their trigger, and then I come in kind of to give those type of tips that I gave you with the chips and the crackers, right? So not a lot of people kind of do that. They will tell you, you know what, stop the chips, don't eat it. But you know what, they're psychologically hungry, right? Yeah. So you kind of need to feed that side of them. It's not always just the hunger, you need to be healthy. Because hunger comes in both ways, like psychologically, emotionally, and then you've got your actual hunger, right? So just you addressing the binge eating and then the restriction kind of goes hand in hand, right? So when you're stressed, the last thing you want to think about is being healthy, you know?
True.
Yeah, like the last thing, you're going through something that you actually need help, right? You need to know your trigger. You going towards food it's like something like you need to feel comfortable with something. You need comfort, right? Someone to give you a hug. So it's a way of just food giving you a hug.
Oh,
right?
Okay, I got you. That's a better example.
Yeah, right.
Sense.
So just you going and doing that is making you feel comfortable, and you know what, I have someone. But in actuality, you're gonna feel guilty later.
So it's not about cutting it and make yourself full of it. It's just like having a little bit and then adding something on the side.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
So those like little tips you don't see around, and it's like really not spoken about here.
Yeah.
And again, it creates that relationship up and down.
Yeah.
But it's really important for you to kind of know, okay, now I'm getting stressed. Like, what should I do? Before just like going towards food straight away.
Very true.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, how about this? We take a quick break and we'll be back. All right, dear viewers, we're gonna go take a quick break and we'll be right back right after this, so don't go away. And we're back again, dear viewers, after that short break, and let's continue our talk about stress eating. Now, let me ask you this. So I'm sure that basically if you think about stress eating, it will make a segue for you to basically gain weight and affect your mood. So how does it actually affect your mood and your health in that manner?
So when you're stressed, you kind of go, your first instinct would be, you know what, I want to eat, or you get those sudden cravings, right? Because again, when you're stressed, you have your cortisol levels really high, and you're trying to deal with what's going on, right? So when you have those cravings, all of a sudden, it's really easy for you to overeat, and you just don't think about it. So when you do that, and then you kind of overeat in the period of like what, 1 week, 2 weeks, whatever time you're going through, you really are going over your caloric intake in a day if you're trying to lose weight or whatever it may be, right? So at the end of it, you're actually gaining weight. But then some people who have a really bad relationship kind of overthink it, and where this is where like the binge eating kind of comes in, and the bad relationship that people have with food, because they overthink it. Oh my gosh, like what have I done, my progress and all of that. And because the main reason is they don't know their trigger. So a lot of times we would really recommend you to go for a walk, listen to music, right? Meditate, to kind of forget and disconnect and kind of have that zen moment before going towards food. As even if you're having that craving, just try to go and do something before just taking a straight action towards food.
Now we talk about the people that are binge eating. What about the other side of the spectrum, that people that are, let's say, anorexic?
So binge eating kind of, first of all, like comes in when you overeat. Not everybody kind of binge eat, they kind of overeat. And kind of when they have that bad relationship, over time they might binge eat. With anorexia, not a lot of people eat when they're stressed, right? So they restrict, they can't eat, their appetite is just done. So over time, they restrict their food. And then if they are willing to lose weight, what ends up happening is they're loving it because they're getting towards their goal, right? Because they're losing weight. So they're like, you know what? Why am I doing this and this and this and going for a walk? I'm not eating, so it's helping my weight loss.
Okay.
Right? So now they're losing weight and they're getting towards their goal. And then they're having this bad relationship with food where like over time they start to restrict, because that's where they see their actual goals. But you restricting your food and trying to lose weight in that specific way is really gonna backfire later on. You're gonna have mood swings. You need energy to kind of go through about your day, right? So talking in terms of you losing weight and then restricting is really bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what you're trying to say is that it's okay to lose weight and to get your goal, but it shouldn't be concentrated only on depriving yourself from food.
Yeah.
You should eat what you need, which is feeding your body, and add to it exercise to get your goal.
Yes.
But if you do it just without exercise, then you're actually cutting down all the minerals and vitamins and nutritions that you actually need for your body to, you know, exist in the first place.
Yeah.
Okay. So in other words, what are the good comfort food that can replace stress eating? I know we've talked about this, but I want to go deeper into it. Like, why does it actually, like, good food, like healthier food, makes us feel better than non-healthy food?
In terms of like stress?
Yes, in terms of stress.
Because those like processed foods that high in sugar and high in sodium, again, it's like what you want and like you're comfortable with and what you like, because you eating healthy, a lot of people see it as something as like a homework, like they have to do. It's really hard, right? So for you to plan your meals really healthy and blah blah blah, they overthink it. And besides, here in Kuwait especially, it's really easy for you to grab stuff that are unhealthy, right? It's really easy. You've got delivery apps, you've got everything. So when you're stressed, it's really easy to go towards that rather than you thinking about, you know what, I'm gonna eat a grilled chicken, a white rice, whatever. That takes energy from your brain, and you're already going through a lot while you're stressed. The last thing you want to do is kind of plan.
Okay.
So an easy thing for you is just like to grab a burger and go.
The thing is that you have to think of losing weight or gaining weight even as a fun thing. It has to be like, because your body is already complex. So eating complex things isn't bad. It's just you need to know when to take it, how to take it.
It's more of a lifestyle.
Don't overthink it.
It's more of a lifestyle. It's really easy for you to gain weight in a healthy way and lose weight in a healthy way, but just a way of you just trying to match your lifestyle. Like obviously when you have a student, it's a completely different type of stress as someone that works in a desk job. Yes, they're both going through a stress, right? So this person might not be sleeping for probably 48 hours, right? And then this student, okay, like she sleeps, but her stress level is completely different. So the way I would deal with a doctor and the lifestyle and the way I would plan his meals or her meals is completely different from her, right?
True.
Yeah. So you just finding that balance and trying to match their lifestyle to reach their goals is always like really crucial. To make them feel like, you know what, it's actually really easy. Yes, I'm going through stress, but I have it under control.
Okay, I got you. All right, so what's the difference between emotional stress and, emotional hunger and physical hunger?
So emotional hunger is always a thing that comes really fast. Like you're doing something and you're like, you know what, I'm actually craving a pancake right now.
Oh, okay.
Right? It's more of the mind thing. So emotional is mind. Okay? Right? You always have that link. Whereas a regular hunger is always connected to your stomach, right? You always feel like growling comes in, it's empty. You get that feeling of like irritability. You're kind of like, you have no energy. You can't go through your day.
So that's more of listening to your body and understanding it.
Exactly.
Emotional is like, for example, if you're in a state where everything is good in your life and you're just like, you just want to eat. You're just like, you just want to add and add for no reason. So emotional doesn't have to be also stressful, right? It could be just because you're happy and you just want to eat.
Yeah, definitely. Or like, you know, when you're just walking and you just like smell something all of a sudden and you're like, oh my gosh, this actually really smells really good. Let's go have or grab something. You see that sudden kind of moment that happens? This is mostly like, or actually is related to emotional eating.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that comes like suddenly, like it just, or like environmentally, it's like nostalgia, right?
So it just clicks on you.
Yeah, it
or
just
maybe
clicks.
If you see someone eating something that you like, and it just clicks with you, I just want to go and eat that.
Or like a memory thing.
Or a memory thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Memory lane is always problematic sometimes. Okay, but how does not eating enough correlates with stress eating?
So you not eating enough because your body doesn't have that enough nutrients to survive the day, let's say, to survive the moment, to go through the day, your stress levels go high because now your body is working extra hard to provide that extra energy, and then your levels just go up, and just, you know what, it's like there's no energy, we raise that stress level, and then that stress kind of hormone that goes up, right? So then you tend to see a lot of people grabbing really quick stuff here and there.
Okay.
When you have that steady plan, let's say during the day of you eating specific stuff, your body won't raise that stress level because your body is not starving. You're giving it the energy that it needs, it's steady, it's good, it's doing what it needs, you know what, we're fine. Yeah.
Okay, so basically you're trying to say that in one way is basically looking at it that if you have a plan and it's a good plan and you're going with it, then your body is okay, it doesn't need to be stressed. But the moment that you bring it down to deprivation, it's like your body is like ringing a bell and telling you, hey, you need to eat, but at the same time you put me so down, I'm going to stress you up.
Yeah, I'm gonna stress you, exactly, yeah, because your
Okay.
body is going through stress, right? Because you're trying to go through your day, but you have no energy, and your body's like, give me something, like I need to work with something, right?
But of course, before getting to that stress level, it was already giving you signals, but you were not listening to it.
Yes, because especially with people that are always ignoring those signals, it's like, you know what, let me try something else.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
How about this? We take a quick break and we'll be back for more. All right, dear viewers, how about we go take another quick break and we'll be right back, right here waiting for you to see more about our amazing topic. Okay, see you soon. And we're back, dear viewers, after that short break, and we have more for you on our topic, which is about stress eating. So, question, first aid kit, all right? So let's make a first aid kit for people that are actually stress eating. So what are the things they need to do so that they can like get away from that or resuscitate themselves to go back to life?
I would say is, if you know you're going through a stressful period, is just prep for it. Have healthy snacks around, I would say. Try to have someone to talk to, right? To kind of relieve that stress. Maybe just go for a walk, listen to music, try to kind of forget in a way that does not relate to food. That little like time of break and meditation kind of really helps for you to kind of forget, rather than having that calmness from food, have that calmness from something else.
Okay.
Yeah.
So people don't understand that actually when you say stressful eating, it doesn't mean just you just eating a lot. It is connected with emotion.
Yeah.
And being stressful, sometimes you do need a friend or something that, or a hobby maybe.
Yeah.
So are there things that you can do other than prepping meals and stuff like that, but something emotional that you can do to calm yourself down? Or like, are they basic stuff?
I would say is probably go for a walk is the best thing, right? Because it releases certain hormones to kind of soothe your nerves and kind of forget. Listen to music is really a good one. Maybe watch like a comedy show, right? Yeah. Just lean towards something other than food, I would say, just for and see how you go and how you deal with it, and definitely that's gonna help.
Okay, so walking is one of the ways of saying that, but what about, I've heard also breathing, like making sure that you actually have some specific trainings for breathing can actually help.
Yeah, so it's where you hold, where you inhale for like 4 to 5 seconds and kind of let it go. That kind of gives your nervous system a type of like from fight to flight. You know what? To like, we're fine, we're okay, because it's a mechanism your body has. You know what? We're going into war. We're about to fight. But but in reality, you know, you're just sitting in your couch. There's nothing going on, or you just like close the phone. Yeah. It's like really a mental thing, right? So when you have that brief periods of time of you breathing, you're trying to tell your body, you know what? We're good. We're safe. There's nothing happening. We don't need to kind of rush into anything. So just having an inhale of like 5 seconds.
So it's more of like a step back, and just stay out of the box for a bit.
Yeah.
And just like look around you that everything is okay. Then go back again to your normal life.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are the 3 things you would advise people? First thing to do to actually be less stressful and get away from stress eating.
I would say is number 1 is know your trigger. I know sometimes it's really hard, but like let's say for student, if your trigger is, you know what, you've got an exam, that's your trigger. Okay, we're aware of it. Try to cope with it slowly, right? Number 2 is, I would say, is don't deal with it straight away with food. Try to find something else. It could be literally anything, just like painting, for example, right? Walking. Or drawing, right? Coloring. If you hate sports, and a lot of people hate sports, even walking, right? So just like simple painting, coloring, go out with your friends. You know, that change of scenery suddenly you kind of need to like have that mental break. Just look about it in a different way, I would say.
Okay. So basically looking at the world in a different way will put your stress down.
Yeah.
Picking up something new will also like...
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. And maybe you would actually find out that you're good at something, and then it will just put you in a better mood and a better... Okay. So how about give me a life story of yours that you actually helped someone with stress eating?
So one of my friends is an actual doctor, right?
Okay.
So she was going through her residency and she's going through rotations, right? So she didn't know the hours that the doctors are gonna work, how the rotation's gonna go, right? She's a newbie. The way that she was dealing with everything is kind of shutting everyone out.
Okay.
And when you do that, you actually add more stress because you're on your own, right? In like four walls, you're in your room. Your stress is like heightened so much, right? I would say for those type of people, I would say is do the complete opposite, because you're all into your mind, you're all into your thinking, you're like consumed by it, that you actually need a change of scenery. You need
a breather,
right? And especially when you're on your own, there's a high chance of you eating, right? Because the fridge is right there, your phone, delivery, everything is on site. It's really easy for you to get it. So as soon as I saw her, I literally was like, you know what? I'm coming in 2 minutes. I don't care what you do, right? We're going out, even if you're coming by my house. That like simple, what I would say 1-2 hours, just relieved all of the stress.
That's the word, breather. She just needs to basically, in her case, she just needed to let all the energy that was jumbling up in her brain just go out.
Exactly.
She was just building steam and steam and steam, and that steam had to find a way out just to relieve herself from all of the stress.
Absolutely,
So now, with your experience in your major in this field, what advice would you give people in general? I mean, why do you love it that much? And then try to give an advice.
A simple way to say it is we all go through stress, depending on the spectrum of it, right? It's just knowing the right people for you to handle it, whether it's food-wise, whether it's psychological therapy, whatever it is. At the end of the day, just you do you, I feel like. So maybe you seeing your friends is not you, right? You have, because you seeing your friends needs energy, a certain type of energy, right? We're all humans at the end of the day. Sometimes just you having a break for yourself, just me time, is just what you needed. And some people just overthink that. So just try to, even if you're hungry, you're not, whatever, just try to deal with stress the way that you want to, and just don't be pressured by someone else, I would say.
All right, so not being pressured by someone else is also a great advice. Another thing I would ask is that in the realm of stress eating, is it okay to basically disconnect from society as a whole? Like take a long break and then coming back?
And I think it's like completely normal, because depending on the person, sometimes you just disconnecting is for you a way for you to recharge, right? Some people just their recharge is being around people. Some people their recharge is being on their own, doing their thing, having their me time, watching their TV shows, right? Having their favorite like comfort food here and there. It's just how you would deal with what you're going through. Anything that feels right for you is always the answer.
Okay. Now, because we're in a country where food is like everywhere. If someone had to go to somewhere where food is like regular, would that actually help with your stress level, or it's just gonna make it worse?
Again, if they're the type of people who eat while they're stressed, it's probably not a good idea, right? Because they're surrounded by a lot of food and they're also stressed. But if you pair it with friends and family, they're actually having fun. So you know what? They're dealing with the stress, because the stress is connected to the overeating. So if you're kind of relieving that stress, you're not gonna probably overeat because they're around people, right? So they're all kind of connected in a way. But I feel like, again, the way that you relieve stress is, at the end of the day, is gonna make you not overeat and not have those binging episodes.
Okay, binging episodes, as they say. One last question. What is your favorite actually binging food, or stress food?
Like what
why?
I crave? Obviously like chocolates.
Chocolate,
right? So I would say chocolate is like the thing I would go towards to. Something that is warm, I would say like hot chocolate or something like that. Again, chocolate.
Okay. Number 3
is just going out with my friends.
Okay.
I'm the type of people
who
would recharge.
You just eat,
no, that's like not a food. That's just a way for me to recharge. Is like go out with my friends.
All right, amazing. All right, I'm sure you have very great family and friends that support you in everything, and I hope for you the best and for them. So we've reached today to the end of our episode. Thank you so much again for being here. and we hope to see you again.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, dear viewers, we've reached to the end of today's episode. I hope you actually enjoyed it as I did. I didn't give her actually what were my stress eating food, but maybe for next time, or maybe behind the scenes. But until then, see you soon.